Alright, so I want to speak on Lil Nas X real quick. I made that video about celebrities people thought I was disrespecting LGBTQ when I got to Lil Nas X's part. Just hear me out real quick. So y'all remember when Old Town Road first came out, right? It literally went viral. Everybody was playing his song. Not only that, he even got Billy Ray Cyrus to get on the song. If you ask me, that's a red flag right there. Not because Billy Ray Cyrus joined his song, but because it blew up so fast. Just literally screaming industry plant. I also want to point out the star ring. One of my supporters pointed out, when people get this star ring, they either die or they play a part in an agenda. Probably like a few months later, they start turning him into this. This is not at his own will, and this is not him being free about it. He is being forced to do this because it plays an agenda. Playboy Cardi was moving to the same agenda. They're being forced to do things like this. Cardi not finna go from this to this. But Nas X not finna go from this to this.
In 1525, the French troops were so badly defeated by Charles V that the French king was seized and held for ransom. You see? Because Charles V had all of the Inca warriors with him. Because Charles V had the treaty with all of the Moors going back from when George was rocking it, the Delaware Moors. Because Britain, remember I showed you last week in the class that George was called the Sultan of Palestine and Rome. But the monarchy in England, because it was Christian, i.e. Hebrew, because James established it as such. James put the Torah and the Revelation and the Apocrypha in the same book to preserve the ancient history of the Moors from the dynasties before. So what did they do after he was dead and all of that? They got rid of that Bible, made their own version of it, and then started creating all of these white images of James, and then started creating these lies about him and the rest of those European Moorish nobility, that they were all Satan worshipers or this or that, or worse, they was homosexuals and having sex with his mother. There's no imperial evidence that that ever happened. But Moors parrot shit like parrots, like macaws. They don't read nothing. They just go through and write it. And then you got Freemasons that is out here perpetuating this Venetian-based history that's fake. It's fake. All of this stuff is fake. Like I said, show me a picture of one of the biggest battles in the Civil War. So you got cameras of niggas fighting right before the war, but you don't got no pictures of them fighting the war. Okay.
For some reason, a lot of neurotypical people don't really like it when I share random fun facts with them, so I decided to share some with you. Also, side note, I have been having issues with my eyes for over a week now, so if I look swollen in this or other of my recent videos, that's why. The most successful pirate in history was actually a woman. Her name was this, I think you say it, Ching-Shi. I hope I don't butcher it too bad. Pirates were very gay and very queer in general, because being gay, for example, was punishable by death. But pirates didn't have a problem with them, so they were basically like, if you come on our boat, we don't mind if you have sex with other men. And a lot of pirates were queer, were trans, were gay, and it was very common for pirates, male pirates, to have relationships with other men.
that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
The trans business across Europe is astonishing. I had a paper some months back where I looked at some of the royal families of Europe going back over the last 100 years.
Yes. Yes.
And you can, they jump out at you. The male qualities, they are actually comical.
I mean, isn't that, but it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, the royal families of Europe are full of, trannies, basically. Trans people, transsexual. I mean, that's kind of mind-blowing, right? Really?
It is. Now, you could imagine that would have been feasible in the old days, before the use of photographs and video and all of that, where the people wouldn't get to see them very often. And when they did, they wouldn't get much chance to study them.
Yeah. They
and
get close
when
to
the camera became available and video and film footage became available, we had a brief window where we could see them in the raw, if you like. But in the last 20, 30, 40 years, they appear to have greatly improved the quality, so that they're much more convincing transgenders now.
Yeah.
And of course, they carry out more surgery on them now. I would recommend, if you're interested, to go out and check some of the junior members of the British royal family.
Oh, yeah, I have.
Ones around 5, 6, 7, 8. They are just like little boys,
Yeah.
But by the time they're 13, 14, 15, between the chemicals and the hormones, the surgery and so on, they will be more convincing females than they are.
Yeah.
So this is what the women in Hollywood wear. This a moon bump. This is what they wear to deceive the masses. Only Hollywood women can so-called have a baby and back on stage doing, and now that's some heavy-ass sorcery.
Yes, esteemed evildoers, you have had